Hello, good afternoon Tribuners. Welcome back with me Kusnul Asyaifah in Indonesian News of Tribun Lampung. We will present you an updating and interesting information from every place in Indonesia. And here are the complete news. The first news is, resident of Mesuji Lampung worked in Malaysia for 6 years unpaid. A resident of Mesuji Regency, Lampung, USA, 27 years old, had an unfortunate for after 6 years of working in Malaysia but not getting paid. The US who went from Mesuji to become an Indonesian migrant worker in Malaysia is suspected of having depression. The Indonesian Migrant Worker Union of Lampung Province is currently seeking to report into the US is the hometown of Mesuji. Secretary of the Lampung Indonesian Migrant Worker Union, Timo Irawan, said that the US of deported non-procedurally for the Malaysia. AS Timoto explained who paid it up by the agent who promised win the worker in the neighboring country. In Malaysia, said Timo Irawan, as worker area gathered from the 2006-2022, he explained that US salary was not paid possibly because of administrative and correspondence problems. The administrative problem, he continued, was already because the US left for Malaysia non-precedently. Based on family information, Timo said, as not working and vegetable shop. However, said Timo, the US has been depressed since June 2022. Timo said, the Lampung Indonesian Migrant Worker Union had spoken with the US family. The Indonesian Migrant Worker Union in the Lampung is trying to give strength to the family, especially since US father is sickly. As an older brother, Hope and his sister could help to return home. The report threatened assistant who is not standing. There is a younger brother deported as Indonesian migrant worker to Malaysia on a non-procedural basis. The next news is the impact of the Haruku flood central Maluku. The flood that currently in Haruku Country, Haruku Island District, central Maluku, had a fairly severe impact. The flood that occurred on Saturday damaged dozens of resident houses. Informed of night, the church of 40 houses on Maluku stage resident damaged by the flood. In addition, 750 people chose to flee and higher ground. This was reported by the head of Haruku Island, Muhammad Hafid Latukonsina. Hasid that flood was caused by the half-raving river, which is not from resident area. The overflow of the river causes 150 houses of Haruku residents to be submerged in the water. The flood triggers materials such as flood records the health statement of the resident in the country. As a result, there are 50 and out of 150 houses that are Sumatra and Southwest which is heavily damaged. Not only residents, house a number of the infrastructure as a road and bridges crosses canal were also damaged. Until now, said Latukonsina, officer that still continue to consulting data the eventually losses from the impact of the flooding the location. Meanwhile, acting head the Central Maluku Regional Disaster Management Agency, Abdul Latif K, informed that the flood in Haruku Country currently his party and has already team to go to the location. The next news is declaration of Anies Baswedan's friend worthy to be president. Anies Baswedan was declared a president candidate in the Republic Indonesia 2022 on Sunday by the National Volunteer Gadis Council body Anies Maluku. The chairman of the National Volunteer Guide Council from the Friends Anies Maluku, Idrus Tahude, said that Anies Baswedan was worthy being nominated as president in 2024 general election because of his intelligence. It was explained that Anies Baswedan in the last 5 years leading in Jakarta had scored many achievements. One of the Maluku introduced mode of transportation in Jakarta. According to him, declaration of his party was already brought to community without any direction from this country. The next news is Ipan, a boy from North Ogan Komering, added he was arrested in Pesawaran Lampung. Ipan, the boy who claimed to have been in Sidoto Park, Pesawaran Regency, Lampung. He said that he came from the Muara Dua, Ogan Komering Ulu Regency, Sumatra Province. In incident, began with the words ordering a travel card to make him his biological mother housed in Sukarame village, Kedondongan Pesawaran district. But when he arrived in Sukarame village, Kedondong district, he didn't have to find his biological mother. He explained that he has studied with only found biological mother brother who was acknowledged as from adoptive parents. But instead being introduced, Ipan was sent to play in the Kedondong area. Then he was produced Swedish attendant's mother, brother was a street man while Herman Basir was found in sitting under the tree. It is a Sidoto Park on Thursday. It was a shabby tourism conventional. So I invited him to the seat near at the park. Herman also admitted that he was suspended in Ipan. He was lost a child, but he was Ipan told the chronology of the incident. He was surprised because it not the lost child on his street. When asked, the Ipan admitted was dumbly his stepmother was in the Muara Dua, Sumatra Province, so helped him return to the home. Hermawan Basir looked initial to make the video YouTube to provide information about him. Later in afternoon, Herman Basir will report about him the Gadong Tataan Police for to further information. Today, Ipan has been in Sidoto Pesawaran Park 2 to 3 days. The persons is only the mercy around about the Sidoto Park in the poor condition. Herwan hoped that his parents will bring Ipan the home. The next news is the customer lost of 40 million due to the case of authentic teller machine. The Bank Tuban Branch respond to the missing customer money after being suspended of being a victim of the ATM jams mode. This was experienced by the Dewi Rahmawati, 40 years old, a customer from the Daung village, Palang district, who admitted that she was lost of 40 million in her saving account. She suspected that the loss of customer funds occurred due to card trapping, a crime method that they abuse ATMs that the result of inspection. He explained that the bank in Tuban branch officer had followed at the customer report by the blocking debit card from the customer security. Customers are advised not worry about transactions at the admits and another BNI channels. The bank also suggests several security measures, including using the BNI mobile banking because it was already has a transaction in ATM machine, such as cash withdrawal facility at ATM machines, with the BNI mobile banking facility without a debit card, so that the potential for the card tripping this card can be avoided. Customers also asked to immediately transfer the debit card with replacing the bank distributed by the card with the KISIS debit card. Then, repeatedly change the ATM transaction PIN in the order anticipated correctly of the crime. Customers are advised to give her the personal advantage number to anyone and mildly credibility. Previously, report BNI Bank customer in Tuban become victim of the allegation of the blocking ATMs until the contention their savings were also sold out in the tens million. The victim was a Travis Dewi Rahmawati, a resident of the Daung village, Palanga district, Tuban Regency. The next news is, father in Pesawaran Lampung embraces biological child at the night. A father who had a heart to divorce his own biological child admitted to the considered deeper at the night. The victim was forced the room then looked at. The Wisrael father Pesawaran Police Chief adjutant to the Police Chief Commissioner Rio Cahyawadi during a press release to the Pesawaran Police headquarters on the Saturday. Rio explained, the media crew that the Wisrael perpetrators had committed immoral attacks since June 2021. When carrying out in action, the perpetrators always get resident from the victim. However, the perpetrators threatened the victim with a knife. Rio said the perpetrators can be more than one immoral action. The case of the father abusing the biological child occurred in Pesawaran Lampung. It's a 48 years old father who has raised for just one daughter, Bunga. 11 years old is still elementary school in the Pesawaran Police Chief. Adjutant Senior Commissioner of Police, Rio Cahyawadi said, having a recent perpetrators is Abu Solas Oris Pagelaran District Pesawaran on the Thursday. Rio explained that the arms immoral action from the June 2021 to the July 2022. Father's biological child in the Bandar Lampung related to the 3 years a similar case. A father forgets his own biological child in the Bandar Lampung. The perpetrators with the initial SL, a resident Teluk Betung Team order, was arrested by the police. The next news is, 7 missing people in Muara Kaman forest found. 7 of the each people who was lost in Muara forest in the Puan Kupa village, Muara Kaman district, were found and evacuated. The head of the Muara Kaman police superintendent of the police, Susperanto, He said the problem was the communication in the file due to the difficulty of the signating. However, based on the member information, some of the people were reported missing have a phone by the officer. While the grandfather named Mankopo, agent around to 60 to 70 years old, the first victim has a warrant found. Cannot to be in detail. 7 people found here. They get lost because denied there is location it was including tourist area in promised and natural forest. Officer in the field still trying to defeat 941 victim. These were this method nobly complied by the land and also trying to show in theirs badly identified. Apart a land, journalists also the rules about to notice human movement. Previously, the incident began with the human Makpong wheel Makpong was a suspect of being lost in the forest in Pakuan Chupa village area in the Muara Kaman district, Kukar on Thursday. Unfortunately, several of Mukfan villages were lost searching in the forest in New Courtney for Inverness. According to the information, General before the incident around 10 a.m., Makpong and his wife Rinda were doing gardening activity not far from the dead horse. Well, I think all the news for today with me, Kusnul Ashaifa. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.